I'm in here just as a generalist, so I'm pretty much doing everything. I don't do all of anything, just a little bit of everything. And then if people have questions or problems and they want a little assistance, I help them out. Regardless of whether you're a competitor or not, your product needs to behave as expected. That is to say, if we expect some set of hardware or software to behave a certain way, we're all trying to be on the same page. Like, what does that mean? You know, if a disk drive is supposed to act like a disk drive, you can't say, well, I have, you know, competing vendors' disk drives. No, they both better work similarly, or I'm not going to buy the guy's product that doesn't behave in a standard way. And interoperability begins to be a must because, sure, sometimes you can buy whatever you want from a single vendor, and oftentimes that's a good solution. But sooner or later, you're going to have to hook to somebody else's stuff. And what are you going to do then if it doesn't want to interoperate, if it doesn't want to behave? Because it's not just, oh, did you bring a laptop in? You probably have a smartphone too. And well, how many of those are there going to be? And if you're bringing in equipment, are you going to be doing DHCP as well? And if you are, then are you going to do stateful auto configuration, or are you expecting DHCP v3, or so we have to really support both. So those are the kinds of things that make it a little more complicated, right? And from our perspective, or at least from my perspective, and people like me, that's the part that's interesting. How would you put this together and make it work in this environment? You don't have the luxury of saying, oh, you know what? If you give us one more week, we can build a better network. It's a hard target. And when it's time to spin up the show network, whatever you got working is what you're going to have. If you were unsuccessful at trying some new feature, you just have to let it go, and you have to have a contingency plan for if something isn't going to work, what will you do in its place? It's always been a network where attendees can come and see technology in action, actually moving packets, actually being managed and monitored, and they can ask questions about what protocols we're running, what we're running over it, how we're accomplishing what we're doing. So that's been a big and I think a primary goal. But it's also for the exhibitors to be able to get connected and do rudimentary internet services, and also maybe try some things that they want, some of their newer products or whatever. And if they wish, they can even do demonstrations between each other. So there's a little bit of that goes on. And so it's easy to see why it might be hard for somebody from the outside, or maybe a new attendee or somebody who walks in, to figure out what's going on, because there's just so much going on. So I think I have a renewed respect for that, and I would encourage anyone who wants to find out more about InteropNet to don't be shy. You're gonna have to stop us and talk to us, ask the questions. We might look busy, but we're here to answer questions of the attendees, and hopefully help them learn what the InteropNet is about and how it might pertain to their own professions, and maybe they'll even learn something.